liquid. Yes, this one is spreading quite nicely across both of my capsules. We're going to do our knitting challenge wrap-up video. Holy Hannah, that's a lot of words. This is the first video you're seeing. This is not a normal format for us. We're the Northern Knit Podcast girls. We are two friends in fiber, and we knit and crochet and spin and sew and do we do it all. I feel all like things. All the things, because I keep adding hobbies to my list, and they don't seem to be shrinking.
My hair's not cooperating.
Keeps going. Well, you're the one who put your hair down.
I know. It's not it's angry at me for the hairspray. We'll just plop this right on top there.
Okay.
It's still reasonably cute. Cat,
sure.
What are you doing
about it? I think the internet just validated your cuteness today. Guys, we're going to talk about what we did and did not like about our own knitting bingo challenge cards this year, and the things that we're going to try to set ourselves as goals for 2020. So, if you're an old listener or an old hat at this, an old watcher or viewer, I don't know what words to use. We need a super cutesy group community name.
Consumer of our media.
Yeah. Guys, come up with a name. You've seen me name things. Don't let me name things. You don't leave it in my hands. It will go poorly. Don't do it. Even Mr. B knows better, and he starts giving me village and town names because I'm creating a world to run a campaign next year. And he's like, "Are you naming them?" I'm like, "No, I'm going to ask for help. I'm not dumb. I know, because when you leave it in my name, it's Travisville. Like, it's not good. I cannot do these things on the fly." So I like to yearly challenge myself to do something. So one year I did the 365-day crochet challenge, which I crocheted a granny square every day for the whole year to teach myself the basics of crochet skills, which was amazing. Of all the challenges I've done, this is the most successful one I've ever attempted.
I think you did all 365.
I did all 365 days, and I am very comfortable saying I'm a crocheter. I can crochet from a pattern, I can crochet from a video tutorial, I can crochet from a chart. Like, I learned all of the basics. That was incredibly intense. And I said to myself, I'm never doing a daily challenge one like that again, ever. That was too much. Too much. I mean, at some points I fell behind because that was the year I had my surgery.
Right.
But I was also recovering from surgery, so I had a good chunk of weeks where I wasn't really moving around that much. So I just played catch up then. If you're only walking for 20 minutes 3 times a day, you got plenty of rest time.
This is true.
When you're not sleeping. So, last year we did socks. Boy, did we both not do well with that. And we were like, that's an easy challenge. A pair of socks a month? Done. No.
Didn't happen.
So bobbed.
I succeeded that first month.
I think I got 4 pairs out of the whole year. I discovered something about myself. I am not an intense sock knitter.
Not a sock knitter.
Not a sock knitter. Discovered this. Cool. Not a problem. I like the socks I've knitted. I wear them. I enjoy knitting them, but they're not my go-to. I must knit a thing. It's never a sock. Which is kind of weird considering how many fingering weight sock base yarns I buy. Are you arguing with my cat still?
I am. She's decided that my ball of yarn for the sweater that I'm working on is her pillow.
Yes.
Not even a toy, just a pillow.
A pillow. Yes.
Oh, she's finally gotten fed up.
Oh, good.
Thanks for all your help.
Should see when she decides it's a blanket for her to lie on?
Yeah, she almost decided that.
Yep. Yep. Cats, they make your life fun. Also, a liquid. They really are. Alright, so where's my last year's challenge card? I'm super organized, guys, because I'm a professional podcaster. Here is my bingo challenge card for 2019. This was a design your own crazy kind of year. Everybody wanted to do challenge. They wanted to work along and do stuff with us. And I love the idea, but I don't like... I love some challenges and I hate them at the same time because you get very, very specific ones. And I'm like, which is wonderful if that's what you like, but I like to bounce all over the board. So I wanted something that was a little more open-ended. So I found out and had done some reading about people who were doing knitting bingo challenge cards. And I was like, this sounds like a perfect yearly challenge. You can change your card every year, and you can just aim to try to get a bingo. Or you could just do what I do, which was randomly complete things. Go, hey, that works for a square. Check it off and see if you get there at the end of the year. Now, it is December the 10th currently, so we technically have, what, 20 days? 21 more days of the year?
21 more days.
Are we counting today? Yeah, we count today. 21 more days. Yeah, because we won't be counting today, so that'll be the 31st. Guys, I can math. It's great. So I have several almost bingos. Several almost bingos.
But no actual bingos?
But no actual bingo. I have, what, 4 times as many X's as you do on my board?
Probably, given that I have 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. I have a whole row I didn't do anything with. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Close.
I've got 5 X's if I'm counting the free space.
I'm counting the free space. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. What did I say? 10?
Mm-hmm.
10 out of 25 squares.
It's almost half.
That's not too bad. I had some pretty ridiculous goals for this year because I put on some, like, ones I knew I wasn't. Like a box of Christmas socks. Guys, I couldn't make 4 pairs in 1 year. There's no way I'm making 24 pairs of Christmas socks in a year. That was so not going to happen. I did some more open ones. Like, I've always wanted to do the Selbu Mitten Club mittens because there's like there are pattern books of 5 mittens from Skein Deer Knits. So I put that on here because I was like, well, maybe I'll do that this year or not. Didn't happen. It's fine. Meet your stash dash goals. Nope.
Nope.
A blanket FO. Oh, nope. Didn't do that one. But it completed mkal on time, which I have yet to manage. Nope. I even put 2 lace weight shawls on here. Didn't do either of the 2 lace weight shawls that I own the pattern and have the yarn for.
Did you start them?
Nope. I am on such a roll. So that was fine. I did, other than the free space, everybody gets the free space. We all get at least 1 X. It counts, guys.
Wait, let me add my X, and then I have 5.
X. Yes, add your X. The free space totally counts.
Woo!
So satisfying.
Okay,
Check that one off.
Mine's a little crumply because it's been buried at the bottom of a pile of stuff on my desk for a while.
Mine's got shiny parts where it was stuck to a wall. Because I was like, you're staying up. I taped this mother. It stayed. It was not coming down for anything. My dad would run across and he's like, this is a very secure piece of paper on that wall. I'm like, I can't lose that piece of paper. This is important. There's no backup anywhere.
Well, I completed 4 things.
Okay. Well, I mean, I got a pair of socks done.
Should have put socks on here. I actually do socks.
You do socks. You should put socks on there. So I got a sock one. I completed the podcast anniversary on time because we did hats, and I knit a hat in 2 days. This is the Sarah hat? No, Katie hat.
No, mine's the Katie hat.
Yours. So mine must. Oh, mine's the Sarah Hair Don't Care hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did the Sarah Hair Don't Care hat. So
we
have a couple of props.
I completed a cal on time. That was this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It took me almost the entire 3 months because I kept screwing it up, and then I had to hack the pattern, and then I screwed that up.
Whatever, you had fun. That's the important part. Yeah, so yeah, we both got the podcast anniversary knit along square. I did a cheat. I did a new to me designer myself because I started designing this year. It's terribly true. It is a new to me designer. It's just me. Was not the designer I had initially anticipated. There's a couple of new designers, especially a couple that I'd never seen before that are people of color. That I just forget. There's one with that color work fingering weight sweater.
Is that the Descent?
No, Descent's a different one. Descent's
okay.
Based off a U.S. attorney.
Okay.
It's a cardigan I also really like, but this one's an all over fingering weight color work sweater, and I just. So pretty. For the life of me, I can't remember the designer name. Guys, I struggled to remember Andrea Mowry when I talk about things. And you're going to notice that in about like 20 minutes when we get to the Make 9 Challenge for 2020. So, ask Diana. It's everybody. If I remember a name of the movie I watched yesterday, we're doing good. But I'll remember weird things. Like, I'll look at you on Friday and tell you not to forget to ask Cloud9 Fiberworks about the Not a Lot of Rain in April colorway. And you'll look at me blank and go, oh yeah!
Yeah.
I remember your husband's birthday, but I can't remember, where I buy my socks. I don't know. Memory's weird. What else I put in finish an object from your library, which tied into the podcast anniversary along because I'd already picked up the sister hat collection, so I already had it in my library. I did a cardigan. That was my mallow cardigan, which is the other thing I pulled out to show off. because this is a cardigan. I finished this in a month. Just over a month.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So, like, if I sit down and I focus, I can spit out a cardigan at my size in a month. So, like, I know I can do these challenges. I just don't. This is a beautiful lacework pattern. So pretty.
It really is.
Oh.
I kind of want to make one.
It's so nice. This one is out of Barocco DK Vintage.
Yeah.
And I was talking with my mom, and she really likes it too. So I think I'll end up making one for her and one for me, but we'll make them in the cotton next time.
Okay.
In the DK cotton linen blend, or the linen, in my case, linen silk, because let's be honest, fancy. So that I have a lighter spring version of it.
Okay.
And even though I made the sleeves long, I'm actually going to make them longer.
Even longer.
Well, they shrunk up a little bit because I've been wearing them, so now they're proper length, like they go to your wrist. But I like
even longer.
I like even longer, so I feel like okay, needed to do that, and I'll block it differently so I don't have quite such a high-low hemline. But otherwise, this, you see me wear this all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, it
It's
goes
nice.
on. Right now it goes on over top of a lot of my shirts and travels with me when I'm out doing stuff because it's -20. And this feels nice with a wool coat and a t-shirt and a shawl and mittens, and just helps keep me warm without making me sweaty. All right. Those were my two props. Hey, I did things.
Now I've got all of one prop. I neglected to bring my Find Your Fade today. I brought it yesterday.
That's okay.
I was going to wear it as my scarf today, but then it didn't fit inside my coat nicely, and I didn't want to leave it unprotected on the outside to catch on Velcro and stuff. So I don't have my Find Your Fade, but that's one that I finished. I finished a spinning project. I finished 2 spinning projects. I just need to wind the second one off.
Yes, you did.
So I'm pretty pleased with that.
Yeah.
And my last one was that I wanted to finish adding or tailoring and adding details to the Regency dress, which I did.
Yes, you did.
I even sewed a little bit. That's a new craft.
That is a new craft for you.
I did not sew a skirt.
It's been on your list for like 2 years now.
I distinctly remember that I had all of the stuff such that I had plenty of time to sew it in time for the Bold Winter Party last year.
Yes, you did.
Have I made that skirt yet?
Nope.
Heck no! It's great to do these year in review things.
You can sit back
Makes you
and think
feel
to yourself.
real good about yourself.
You sit back and go, wow, time management skills. Putting that on the to work on call. Brian has learned to say no.
I repaired 1 of 3 items. I used 3 of 7 weights of yarn. And that's, at the end of the year, my very incomplete sheet of paper.
It's fine.
I strongly suspect it'll be a similar situation next year, but it's just... And I'm also going to stick it on a wall next year, because I didn't do that. I let it get buried, and then I forgot about it for like 8 months.
Yeah. I think my big ones will be like, I'm not going to put stupid, ridiculous ones on. Like.
Oh, I'm going to continue to have stupid, ridiculous ones on mine.
But I stayed away from starting projects and not having FOs. So, because I put on start a scrappy blanket project, which I did. The lemon peel.
Oh, yeah.
Kid blanket that I've been working on slowly. I haven't worked on in months because I haven't had the urge to pick it up and do that crochet stitch. But it's made out entirely out of scraps. So, I got other ones. Like, I got a lot of squares done. And if we're honest, I'm going to show you this one. Okay, on this bottom row, it says complete a cowl on time, which I've done. Project out of new yarn, which that was the mallow because I've never worked in Barocco. I've never worked with their vintage GK before. So
okay.
that one counted. And then I don't have a cable project FO, but I'm going to show you what, pipe dream. I might get a bingo by the end of the year, you guys. Complete a garment, which I did. I did a cardigan, crochet cardigan, my navy blue one, which I never wear, so I'm ripping it out because I never wear it. And then I started my scrappy blanket, which was my lemon peel. But right in the middle at the bottom, and I had plenty of opportunities to get bingos, but I didn't focus. There's the cable project FO. And I only have 1 cable project on the go right now. And guys, it's not going to happen. But I'm going to show you anyway, just by some strange imagination that it does occur. Because man would not have bragging rights. Okay, so we've got, I think it's Briar Rose from, words coming out of my mouth. They're intelligent words, I promise.
Briggs and Little.
Thank you very much.
Hey!
I think I'd remember it. I got it from you. And Briggs and Little is like one of Canada's oldest mill for hand-dyed yards.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I knew that.
I think they're one of our oldest, if not our oldest. Anyway, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 huge skeins of this beautiful dusty country rose because Diana doesn't like it. She's had it for a while and she realized she'd never use it. And I was like, oh, hello, I will. And I'll wear it because it's my kind of, it's country rose. My mom says it's the country pink. That's what my mom calls it, country pink.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Which is totally accurate. It's a country pink. But I'm doing and it's slow going because I am slow at cabling, you guys. Dina Renee Knits or Andrea Mallory. And it is the Winter Honey Shawl. I am not doing the shawlette, which is the smaller one.
Oh no, because why do that?
Why would it'd be a cowl on me. I'm doing the beefy one. But it is a very simple cable pattern with a cable at the bottom as an applied edge. But I have not really made it that far. Where as cables go. And I am doing it at the exact required needle per pattern, which means it's a touch dense. For the specific reason is I always wanted this to be my deep winter shawl.
Right.
Which is our -40 with wind chill weather. So I wanted a dense, rustic, kind of scratchy, hardcore wool. Because that's exactly what it's for. So, you know, I might pick it up after Christmas and see if I can bang out the rest of the shawl in the week between Christmas and New Year. If I sit and focus, it's possible.
Yeah. That'd be amazing if you managed that.
That would be super cool. So, super long pipe dream, but like, I don't know, I'll give it a shot. Why not? Like, what's the worst thing that happens? Oh no, I picked up a project and I've worked on that I wanted to complete for a while. So, I mean, it looks really pretty and the cable's turning out great, even though I've messed up my cable every once in a while because I'm still learning to cable. I'm fine with it because when it's all done and blocked, you're not going to be able to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, in my mind, the best part.
I have a crazier pipe dream.
Mm.
In order for me to get a bingo,
Yes.
I have to complete the Lightning Shawl by Martina Bain, which
Okay.
I got
From your
as a kit from that club that she did. The
Fun. No.
Strickmick.
That's it.
There we go. Yeah, because I got that a couple years ago. And so I believe it's a one skein shawl
I think so,
that's
yeah.
mostly garter with a little bit of lace.
Yep.
So theoretically, it's possible to get it done before the end of the year and get a bingo.
If you sat down every night,
If I worked on it for an hour every night,
you could,
from
yeah.
now until the end of the year, I would probably get it done.
Yep.
But that's not happening. So
No. It's
so
not.
there's my even crazier pipe
There's
dream.
your crazier pipe dream? Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, hold us to our pipe dreams because that works. Never. All right. So, November, October? When did Terry start bugging me?
About what?
2020 challenges. September.
Oh
So
yeah.
The rest of us are thinking about going back to school and getting ready for fall. Terry's like, hey, what are we doing in 2020? I went, I don't know. It's nowhere near December yet. Can I think about this for a moment? She's like, no, make a decision. Like somebody yesterday telling me to book my birthday party 4 months in advance. 4 months in advance. Today is the 10th. It is now 4 months in advance of my birthday. I have made a decision. I tell you, people. The demands my friends make. Hurry up and make party plans. I started looking, I started listening, I started watching. Now, the Make 9 challenge is a big challenge on Instagram. I do not have pictures on my Make 9 challenge. I have drawn out a little grid and I've written down which patterns I want to be a part of my Make 9 challenge.
Yours is still prettier than mine. Mine's like a really rough list.
That's fair. I'm going to go in and post my challenge on Instagram and I will pull mine up. I'll make sure I tag myself so that everybody knows they're mine, not yours. But I loved the Knitting Bingo Challenge card and I wanted to continue that for a year too. So it's still technically called the Knitting Bingo Challenge card for 2020 for the challenge. Guys, I've got spinning projects and crochet projects on here. Open it up. Super okay.
So just be craft bingo.
It could be craft bingo. Yeah, that totally works. I just wrote knitting and I'm not remaking the sign. So I have a lot to do this week. I do not have time to remake this. So I made out a new bingo card. I still have a free space. And then I figured that I do really well if I don't name the project, but just have it listed as an FO, which leaves me free to pick a project.
I like that plan. I think I'm going to modify mine to follow that formula.
Yeah, to pick a project, and then it's not super restrictive. I think the most detailed orientated one I got was like mosaic knitting, because I have at least half a dozen mosaic knitting patterns that I really like that I want to make, and I've always wanted to mosaic knit, so I put that on there. And then I did one which was a lace weight shawl, which is the only one I've done at a weight, because I have 2 lace weight shawls. I was telling Diana I have patterns and the yarn for. I haven't even cast it on. One of them really needs to be done. But I mean, for everything else, I went with like color work projects, socks, sweater FO. I literally bought one of my squares, a gift to myself, a shawl that you've designed. Because I do that, and now I can count it for a square. Hey, it's my own challenge, my own crazy. I can make whatever I want. I wrote mittens. I even wrote gift knit / crochet. So one of the things I make as a gift next year is going to count. Now, you could do as many or as few of these as you guys want. Like, if you knit a lot of socks or you like making dishcloths, put like 4 dishcloth squares on here. Do your thing. Do it up. I did a blanket FO because I've got a blanket I want to finish. 2 blankets I want to finish next year, technically. What else did I write in here? Finish an old whip. I put that on there twice. Just
define old.
Anything that's currently living in your whip pile.
Okay.
More specifically, the longer it's been since you've given it any love, the older it is. The older and wiser it is, you should finish it and kick that out to college.
But it's already wise.
Yeah. It's at 18, it's never wise. We've done 18. It's not wise. I also put spinning on here again because I want to do one of my Make 9 projects. This one I specifically want to spin and then knit for. So I put spinning project on here as well too. So I could get 2 spinning squares completed. So not a terrible huge change for me because I did pretty well with my bingo card last year. Just some small tweaks to make it more approachable for how I like to do my knitting, which is super haphazard and all over the place. It suits me. Do you want to talk your knitting bingo?
My knitting bingo has a theme. The theme is...
I love that it's themed.
It's kind of accidental.
So cool.
And there I am, I'm eating fiber.
Wouldn't be a podcast without tea and fiber eating.
Eating fiber is not the theme. Kits is my theme because I've accumulated a lot of kits.
You're a sucker for a good kit.
I've either having purchased a full kit, or I have the yarn and the pattern in a project bag as a self-made kit for something that's been on my list for like 3 years plus. So for kits, I have the Moherino medley that I bought on my honeymoon this year.
Yeah, because that was going to be your...
it was going to be
your Across the Prairies Cal.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, Across the Prairies Cal. Yeah.
Plum Leaf Lightning and Spiral Escape from the Strickmick Club 2 years ago.
Guys, I liked Plum Leaf so much. Diana kindly bought the yarn, what was still part of the club thing, so that I could have the colors.
They're very good colors.
And then I've been waiting for the pattern to come out, and I thought for sure she'd cast it on at least before. Nope.
Still waiting for me.
Still waiting. So we're just gonna do it as a mini along between the 2 of us next year. So like I think we'll have like the same day cast on, and then if we do it in the height of summer, I am stupendously all over the place this summer, which gives you a really good chance to keep pace with me because you'll have less work on your plate in Waterloo than I will here, because I'm taking over the upstairs and I'm taking over the whole house this summer.
We'll see. I have a tendency to go volunteering to teach children about computer science. Heck yes, please sign me up for all of it.
Yes. Yeah, you'll have to make network connections, but yeah, it won't take you too long to pick up speed. Having said that, next May, not this coming 2020 May, but 2021, we're doing Anime North.
Okay.
Mr. B has an amazing costume idea he would like to do, but he needs like a whole year and a bit to work on it, because it is quite intense.
Okay.
One of us is going to have to play his brother.
Okay.
So the brother's from Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay.
He wants to do Alphonse.
Okay.
Just the metal.
Okay.
Eric is easier.
Alright.
I was like, I'm sure Me and Diana can find characters from Fullmetal Alchemist that we
sure.
like that we could also play.
I think so.
Not a problem, dear. I might play a bad guy just because I can.
Okay.
But yeah, sorry, super segued. So sewing and crafting projects, all the rage in our group.
Further kits that I have.
What did I do?
I have Thrummed Mitts, a Thrummed Mitts kit that I bought at the Manitoba Fiber Festival this year.
Yeah, it was the mitten recipe.
Yeah, the mitten recipe.
Yeah, who was that? Oh man, I should know that.
Oh, I don't remember, but I will talk about it a lot when I work on it.
All the time. Cloud yarns? No.
No.
We'll talk about it in the Make 9. Do you have the person for? Oh.
No, I don't.
Because they made that amazing cranberry colorway, and they're so much fun to talk to. I love talking to her.
Oh,
Her name! It's gonna bug me till I remember.
I'd have to dig out the business card from the bag that it's still in.
The internet is currently yelling at me, guys. I'll remember when we're done recording, and I'll feel like a baboon. It's fine. I derailed you. I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
And I have a very old kit from a Game of Thrones mystery knit along. That one's so old. That was before I moved out of my parents' house.
I don't even own yarn that's that old.
This is like
that's
2
old.
or 3 years into my knitting life.
Yeah.
It was that old. It was a lace shawl, and I was not ready to knit lace.
That's okay. You're ready
I'm
now.
very ready now.
You read the Evening Star, you can do lace.
I can do anything.
Yep. Yes,
I
can.
fixed problems in the Even Star. I can literally do anything.
You are the knitter?
I am. So that's everything I have for official kits. I have assembled in project bags the Lighthouse shawl from Knit City last year. That's the crocheted shawl.
Yep, I know. I was with you when you bought it.
I still have the Vigeant.
Yep.
Which, with some nice Wollmeise.
Yeah.
Waiting for that. I have yarn and the pattern for the Comfort Fade Cardi.
Yep.
For the Contours mitts, which are fingerless gloves that I bought at the first Manitoba Fiber Festival, like 5 years ago. Still love the yarn, still love the pattern, still haven't made them.
Kits, hey?
Yeah, I've got the flax pullover.
Yep.
Got the yarn and pattern for that. I've even started knitting that and ripped it out once.
Yes, you have.
I have the yarn and the pattern for the Distinction shawl.
Yes, you do. I forgot about that. Oh, man. You have so much to do.
That's everything I've got for assembled kits.
Yeah.
For just other knitting bingo challenges, I have my current work in progress is the House Colors throw, the Celtic Myths shawl, things like a lace shawl.
That's fair, because then whichever one you pick up,
yeah,
could count if you get distracted.
I have shell pattern cuffs, this is sort of a design thing that I want to do, and sort of just I want to knit this thing. I will explain. Several years ago, this is again in the 5 to 6 years ago range, I was procrastinating on some schoolwork. Thereby meaning that this is probably 7 years ago, at least. I was procrastinating on some schoolwork. And so instead of writing the paper that I was supposed to, I spent the entire afternoon reading 1880s knitting patterns. And I found this one that sounded really interesting for shell pattern cuffs. But it was written using Australian knitting terms from the 1880s. Okay. And it had no pictures, no lace charts. So I spent an entire afternoon researching all of these terms, figuring out what they meant, writing the pattern out line by line, figuring out all the math so that it all worked, and I even charted the lace. So I essentially wrote a pattern that I have never knitted, and I would like to knit it, and then I would like to adapt it into some lacy fingerless gloves, because according to my lace chart, they'd be really pretty. So I want to do some design work, I guess, is what that square is.
Golf clapping that level of procrastination That is intense.
It was some intense procrastination. I even wrote a blog post about the whole endeavor. I spent the whole afternoon on that.
You procrastinated like a pro.
I did. That was a solid 6-hour procrastination.
Yep.
It was good. So that's a square.
Yes, it is.
And then some other fun squares are take a picture of my empty work in progress basket. It just has to get empty once, and I have to take a picture. And a picture of my empty repairs basket, which is a lot more achievable than the empty whip basket.
Well, right now, yes.
Yeah. So, we'll see how that goes.
Eyeballs, even through the bifocals. Can I get you to tink, like, that many stitches to the
Back to the marker?
Yeah.
I can do that. I have now finished talking about my bingo sheet for next year.
This eye-searing pink is hard to focus on.
Okay.
It's bright and it glows.
Tink, you say. Okay, right.
We're pearl, and I don't care if it's twisted. Gift recipient will not notice. I won't notice. Alright. So then we were like, okay, it's too basic. We need more challenges in the one challenge.
Of course.
And I was like, we don't have to do all of them. And Daddy was like, well, no. And I'm like, okay, no, you're right. We got to. So, the Make 9 Instagram challenge, pretty much everybody knows about. If you don't, you can Google it pretty quickly. It's not too hard to do. You pick 9 projects, and you say that in the year you're doing it, these are the 9 projects you're going to start and finish in whatever, 2020, in this case. So, for me, I was like, I've never done the Make 9 challenge. I look at all the photos, and I'll do a photo of all of them instead of the written one I've done for myself. And I love the photos. I'm like, such a good idea. It gives you goals, stability structure. So you go to knitting events, like you go to the big conventions and stuff. It very quickly gives you a limited shopping list, which helps bring down all the overwhelming yarn fume purchases that can occur.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I have a really large china cabinet packed full of yarn. I have no problems if you buy yarn without having a project for it. Do it all the time. Super okay. And also, I find it's very startling to some people that I will buy all types of yarn. Some people only buy specific types of yarn. I have to be able to knit all types because I have all sorts of people with all sorts of different requirements. Quite frankly, some people think hand washing is the devil. So, it's fine.
Honestly, some days I do too.
There are a lot of things I could make out of hand knit wools, and just sometimes I'm like, oh, it feels so good just to be able to throw it in the washer and dryer. It's just so nice. Till the apocalypse comes, I don't have to give up my dryer. Alright, so I went, and in no particular order, I was like, well, let's start with the 3 I know for sure. If I don't cast them on shortly, my brain is going to explode because I really want to start them. There is the Star Light. Oh yeah, the Starflake Shawl by Stephen West. I call it the Snowflake Shawl because it looks more like a snowflake to me than a starflake. But that's okay. That was his mkal this past fall, which I didn't participate in because I didn't enjoy texture time. And that's kind of when I stopped doing his mkals for a while. I might go back to them eventually because I do like his patterning.
Okay, you said to the stitch marker, right?
Yes.
Done.
Thank you. So
just put that safely down there.
Thank you. That definitely had to go on, so it was like the first square I filled in. The second square I filled in was the Harvest Cardigan by Tin Can Knits because I'm hosting a podcast anniversary, and that's the cardigan I've said I'm going to knit. I have the yarn and patterns for these already, so they're also automatically going to count for another challenge. And then I was like, oh, winter on my mind. It's a lace weight shawl. It was going to be my first lace weight shawl because I've been practicing the Evening Star shawl stitches on fingering weight. And now that I'm comfortable with them, I want to do a lace weight shawl that has a less complicated pattern to get accustomed to the feel of the yarn, and then do the Evening Star.
All right.
So, because I really, really need to get that Evening Star on the needles, because I've also had the yarn for that for like 3 years now. I need to get my keystring gear, which means putting the Winter on My Mind on. Then I'm like, the Winter on My Mind is a lace weight shawl. It's a big lace weight shawl, but we're still lace weight. So I could work on it in the summertime. Because then it's not as heavy on my lap. When I'm certainly not going to want to be working on some of these other items. Alright, then I was like, I need a I need something that isn't a sweater or a massive foreskin shawl or like foreskin fingering weight shawl or a 2XL cardigan. I need something small. So what did I pick? Knee-high socks. Color work knee-high socks.
That's your idea of simple.
My legs are really long. Like, you buy the tall boots and they're not tall enough. I don't wear hats, so why would I do a hat? So I was like, okay, no. There's been a pair of knee-high socks that have been on my wish list for a couple of years now. Like, they've been there for a bit. They're from Skandir Knits. I can't pronounce almost all of the titles she has for her projects, so I will spell it out. They're beautiful names. Norwegian is a wonderful country. It's a gorgeous language. I butcher it. I'm not doing it. Just butcher it. So the Tydail, they're knee-high colorwork socks, plain foot with contrasting toe, which is the same color as your colorwork up your leg. But it's not intense Christmas colorwork, so you don't look at it and think to yourself, man, those are Christmas socks. It's just really nice.
They're just winter socks.
They're just winter socks. And I live in a place where knee-high winter socks
can be worn 6 months of the year.
Pretty much, yeah. So those are going to happen. So I put those on my list because I was like, those will also be a great spring or fall pattern to do, because when I'm working on them, it's like super hot. We're outside. They're not that's not in my lap, creating heat, which is important for me. Also, could be towards the end of the year when I panic and I'm not done my bigger projects and I want to at least get one square done. I also put on, from deep library owning, from, can I read this? I wrote it. Hannah Felting? Fetting. It's the calligraphy cardigan. It is a beautiful, clean, A-line, open front cardigan with a big ribbed shawl collar.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Just gorgeous staple cardigan, and it's been on my list to make for a very long time. It's like, nope, that's it. We're doing it. I need a nice, good, solid, like a good gray, not white. I need a not white. Let's be honest, it may actually be white. I need I'd get dark chocolate brown. I need some sort of, you know what that would look really good in? Pumpkin spice from H&R Yarns.
Oh yeah.
That would look really good in that one. So I gotta find a good color for it, pick up the yarn for it and make it, but it's just a really nice worsted weight cardigan. And I love a good open-faced A-line cardigan. My closet's full of them. I wear them all the time. So I'm like, that had its time. And she'll be a new to me designer because I've got like 16 of her patterns in my wish list or something crazy. Like a dumb amount in my wish list to that I'd like to purchase at some point if I like. But I was like, but I gotta try the one first to see if I like her construction and writing techniques. Because you can read it and think, yeah, no, that's fine. But you don't know until you actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
So then the beefy one, which is when I really need to start like in January as well, is the Night Shift Shawl by Andrew Mallory. I just wrote down Night Shift Shawl. It's so popular. I didn't even write the name of the designer on it. It's like, no, I know what I mean. She did hers out of Spin Cycle Yarns, which has got they're sort of known for their kind of thick thin, so it's really good for hand spun yarns.
Okay.
So I want to spin the yarns spin the fiber I have and put that into the Night Shift Shawl. Cat in a box. So that was always like, I saw it and I was like, oh, and I wanted to get better at my spinning and I needed a reason to pick it up and work on it. And I was like, here's the perfect reason. I like the shawl and I want it, but I'm not like, if I don't cast this on tomorrow, I'm going to die. It's just like, nope, that's going to look good in my closet. And it needs to go there at some point. So I'm going to work on that, and then I'm going to have a Night Shift Shawl out of fiber I've spun. Which is sort of like my get myself more into spinning sort of idea. Alright, one more row to go. Oh, I literally wrote plum leaf. Because I was like, Diana, what was the name of that shawl that we all got the yarn for? From that name of that club I can't spell.
Yes.
She knew what I was talking about. It was fine. She's like, yeah, I wrote that down. I'm like, perfect. I have a square. It's going in there. So I'm going to do that. And that is like one skein in a mini. So this is sort of the same idea as the knee-high socks. They'll be my easy to knit patterns. Why are you staring at me, quadruped? Okay. Then I put Sunset Highway. And I forgot to write down the author. Or the designer. She also did the Salt Dalton crop. I love her Sunset Highway sweater. It is a colorwork pullover that I don't want to steek. Which says a lot, because I tend to want to steek all of them. I want to make it a proper pullover, like a pullover sweater pullover. So
that is saying something.
Yeah, and it was one of those ones that when it first came out, I loved it. But I got it, but I never made it. So I'm like, no. I have now purchased 2 patterns. I haven't made either of them because I also picked up the Salt Dalton crop. I'm like, that's it. That's enough of this nonsense. Knit one of her patterns. So I am. Mind you, I want to make the Salt Dalton crop, but I want to make it not cropped. So. And in the bottom corner, I put the Indigo Shrug. Because I already have the yarn for it, and I have to make it twice. Once for my mommy, and once for me. So it should count for something.
I think so.
So I'm going to count it on here for my mom, the Indigo Shrug, and then if I manage to make it again, it's going to be a crocheted, because it's a crocheted shrug. It's going to count as a crochet on my Knitting Bingo challenge card. That is 2 of 3 challenges, of which there's overlap, because I didn't name things on my Knitting Bingo challenge card, so when I complete the calligraphy one, I can just go cardigan FO.
I think I'm going to do that with mine too. My Make 9 I have already largely talked about. It is all of those
just because it's an open bag on the floor doesn't mean you play with it.
Cat. It's all of the kits that I've talked about. The Martina Bain kits, the Stephen West kits, the self-made kits for the Lighthouse shawl, and the Contours mitts that I've had for 6 years. And it's kits. Kits, kits, kits. Kits is my theme.
Kits, kits, and all the kits?
Kits, 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 kits.
Okay. Oh no.
Alright, moving right along.
Conservative Party theme song for like one of their, not the kits, but the official, like the actual song that's the parody of. I can't remember. Canadian governmental stuff. Parties up here are weird, guys. Okay. The last one was one I just heard about in passing. It's the 20 and 20 challenge. So the idea is that you use your stash and use patterns you already own in your library.
Kits, 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 kits. Make all the kits!
So Diana's done. That was when I was like, I'm like, can we add that in? And I was like, what am I thinking? Of course we could add that in.
Yeah, it overlaps really nicely.
It overlaps beautifully. Will we make all of these challenges full and complete?
Oh,
guys?
heck no.
No, that's crazy talk. However, it is going to help a lot with that it starts with a P, and it means you can't make a decision.
Paralysis.
Thank you. And I only speak one language. It's just not going to get pretty.
Analysis paralysis.
Analysis paralysis. When I want to cast something on and I'm not entirely sure what it is, having a narrowed down list helps a ton. It's so easy to just go, okay, no. I call my mom. Diana uses me when we're out doing things. Like whatever I order, sometimes she just orders the same thing.
I do that a lot with a lot of people. Like if I'm just too tired to make decisions, I'll just, as long as I don't object to whatever decision somebody else has made, I'll just do that.
Well, yesterday our coffee was the same.
Yeah. I was too tired to make my own decisions, so.
My mom's like, why'd you guys have the same coffee? I'm assuming Diana was tired. She kind of doesn't make decisions at that point. My mom's like, do you guys order the same food? I'm like, yep.
That's why when I'm at DEF CON and I'm just way too sleep deprived to be a healthy human being, I attach myself to other people for meals.
Yep.
Because A, they will make me go eat.
Yep.
B, they will decide what to eat for me.
Yep. Oh, whoa! We failed to... Hi! Where were you jumping? Because you missed. You missed hard, babe. You're lucky you're human squishy.
You missed a lot. Oh my goodness, kitty.
You didn't even... Not even close. Come here. Come here. You want up? Come here. All right. It happens a lot when we travel because I'm pretty good at making sure I feed myself and keep myself hydrated. So, is this where you wanted to be? You don't know? You're the one who jumped. You just failed to achieve your goal. Baffling. So, the other kind of sort of bonuses is I'm not super sure on the details of it, so I don't know if like each project counts towards one project and it counts once towards your stash dive, or if each skein counts towards your stash dive for it. I don't know. I haven't looked that hard into it, but it sounded like a delightful way to just help clean out some of my stash yarn so that I've got space to put more in. That's the thing. I mean, I got buckets of cotton, so like I may put on like the 52 dishcloths in a year challenge. That's a dishcloth a week. I could do a dishcloth in a week. That'd be fine. Absolutely. You didn't want me at all. Why'd you jump on me then? She wanted Auntie Diana. Thanks. Thanks, buddy. Let's move this before you decide to jump on top of the table and knock something over. How does that sound? So,
I have really good scratching nails, apparently.
I guess so. I don't know. So that's what we sort of aimed at for 2020. So hopefully you guys can join us. We open up a Ravelry thread for everybody to put their info and stuff into.
Okay,
And
fine. Both hands.
we
Jeez.
try to talk
You
to
made me drop
everybody
stitches, Kat.
on and off throughout the year.
Stitches.
I'll make some hashtags that we can use on Instagram and other places so we can see your guys' bingo challenge cards and we can see your projects as you're working on them. And hopefully you guys like our Design You're Crazy and join us again this year.
You made me drop stitches.
In bulky.
Yeah, I know. They didn't even run.
You're fine.
It's just such an aggressive scratch me now.
Yes.
I was not expecting.
She's not what you would say subtle.
No.
No.
No, you are not subtle.
Also, you have yarn on your lap, so therefore we must climb on your lap and take a nap. How do I know this? My life, folks. I don't exist when Diana is over or when my brother-in-law is downstairs. They are the two most important people on the planet. Never mind, I feed her every day. And replace her water dish twice a day because she always knocks it over. You purr at me, ma'am. And I fetch your toys. And I do all the cleaning. You never even say thank you. What are you gonna do? Get out of my tea! You don't need to eat pumpkin chai tea. Thank you. Sure, go back to the bag. Alright, that's it and everything for this one.
I think so.
Perfect. So I'll say until the next time you see us, don't forget to knit.
Don't forget to knit.